Welcome to Adsposure. We are the transit advertising people. Welcome to Advertising Vehicles. We are the fleet graphics people. Hey everyone, my name is Francisco Almenara. I was born in Córdoba, Argentina, but I was raised in Richmond, Virginia, and spent a few years in Madison, Wisconsin as a reporter. And now I've removed my reporter cap and I have donned a new voiceover hat in Cincinnati, Ohio. The voice journey began a lot earlier than the news side of things, surprisingly, even though the news side of things came first and then the voiceover came after. Essentially, and this is a little embarrassing, when I was a little kid, the movie Master of Disguise came out. Now, I don't know if you know about that movie, but it is awful. It is horrendous. 1% on Rotten Tomatoes. But as a kid, watching Dana Carvey do the funny voices and having just so much fun putting on those different characters on the fly, around the house, I would just do funny voices or impersonations, things like that, and it would always get, a rile out of my parents. It was fun. It was funny, and because of that, wanting to do something with my voice was always in the background of everything that I wanted to do. I ended up going to James Madison University for their School of Media Arts and Design, or SMAD, as we call it, in their journalism concentration. As soon as I got into college at JMU, a lot of media production classes, a lot of journalism classes, learning how to use cameras, learning how to record using the vocal booth that they had there. It was a lot of fun. Everything even more clicked into place, and I was like, yes, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
A string of robberies in northeast Rochester lands one man behind bars.
Now this is the part of the job where we do a stand-up. I count down 3, 2, 1. But today, here at Gage Elementary, they're trying to get the kids to be speaking Spanish 90% of the time.
When I got to Wisconsin for my stint at WKOW in Madison, that was when everything, fell into place. I was not only at a really good, fantastic news station. They just won Station of the Year, but the stories that I got to work on were, very special, and just at a different level that let me, break out of my shell. I was really nervous on camera, even though I had to do it every day, but just having to take everything so seriously and focus on the storytelling, really, changed my mentality on all that kind of stuff, for the good and for the worse. On the one hand, I was nominated for 3 Emmys, Chicago Regional Emmys, and won one of them, So that was, the highlight of the news side of my career. But then, there's, all the terrible stuff that you had to cover, and it made me realize that wasn't necessarily, what my bright-eyed college self wanted to do moving forward. While I was doing all of the news side of things, a new passion kind of reemerged. As a kid, I loved doing voices. I learned that you can get paid to do that. You can get paid to be a voice actor, which was, something that I had always interfaced with, playing video games, watching cartoons, hearing commercials. I just didn't realize that there was somebody that actually could do that. So I started looking into it, and that's when I discovered that, I want to do that.
For the past 15 years, our job has been to help you be seen on buses, benches, shelters, or any other form of public transit.
It's super important to make sure that you engage the audience because, it's really obvious that you want to be engaging when you're doing a commercial. Duh. You want to get your client more business. But when you're doing something like an e-learning or an explainer video, but more specifically an e-learning, you want the students or whoever's benefiting from that e-learning to actually pay attention. I know that you have listened to, HR videos that are monotonous droning, and you just do not want to pay attention any longer. I know because I've been in those HR meetings or had to do those required video viewings. If you've got a good voice actor or actor in general who is engaging with the audience and actually makes it seem like they're enjoying what they're talking about, even if it's something terrible, you're making sure that your students, your employees, whatever, are going to retain that information.
Tidy Cat's cat litter keeps your house from smelling like cat pee. Your house probably smells like cat pee. That's gross. Get Tidy Cats. Don't just write something. Say something. Visconti Van Gogh Orchard and Blossom pen set. Available at fine stationers.
I make sure to ask them as many questions as I can to nail down the exact tone that they are looking for. If they have an example, that is fantastic. Otherwise, I have my own demos that they can listen and they're like, oh, I really want you to try to replicate the voice that you did for that IKEA spot. If they can tell me what they are looking for as close as possible, I can replicate, what they're looking for. And it's all a matter of just being here in the booth and just going through, in my head, a mini conversation with somebody. Role play in your head in the booth so that you are having that conversation and are able to switch into the recording so that it's happening in real time. There's a trust there that, you have to do what they are looking for, but they have to trust you as the expert to know, maybe what they're looking for isn't, they think they know what they want, but it would be a little bit better this way. So it's a matter of maybe sending them 2 takes. Like, hey, here is 1 take, how you asked for it, and here's this take with me putting my spin on it, and we can, I can scrap that all together if you don't want it, but if you like it, there you go. So it's always a matter of listening and compromise and trust. You are gonna be trudging along for a bit before you can afford to follow your passion as a full-time thing. I'm in that case. If you want to be a creative and you want to make a living doing that, learn how to market. Learn how to play the game, learn how to get clients, learn how to be on people's good sides, and be able to be that businessman or business person before you have the luxury of being in the booth, being behind the camera, doing all that stuff that you want to do. Learn some new skills that you didn't think that you had before. We only have so much time in the day. And everybody's got the same amount of time. Use it as best you can. Don't waste your time, and it's really gonna pay off.